Okay, hi. Thank you for clicking on the video. So, if you're watching this, then chances are you already know about oral minoxidil. Chances are you have already been struggling or fighting or battling male pattern baldness or any other kind of alopecia for a while. Chances are you have been involved with a hair loss slash hair regrowth community for a while. So, I'm not trying to explain anything from the beginning. I'm not trying to, teach you anything new. Chances are you already know a lot about the different kinds of medication and different kind of treatments out there. If not, then I suggest you go watch videos from other YouTube channels. People like Kevin Mann, he's very informative. Derek from moreplaysmoredates.com, he's extremely informative and well-knowledge. Also, another channel that goes by the name of KL, his name is Killian. I'm not sure about his last name. He's an Irish gentleman that is sharing his experience with oral minoxidil. And again, he's very informative and he's been doing great work trying to raise awareness about the drug and trying to combat the fear mongering. So, if I can muster up the editing skills, I will, I will put cards or whatever on the video. If not, I'll just link to their channel in the description of this video. Now, let's talk about oral minoxidil. Again, I'm not trying to give you any medical advice here. I'm not trying to tell you how it works because the mechanism of action of oral minoxidil as well as topical minoxidil are, not very well known, but pretty much universally understood. It lengthens the growth phase of the hair and tries to shorten the the telogen phase or the resting phase of the hair. So the way you can think about it is like this. Say in your country, people are born every day and people die every day. So as long as there are more people who are born every day compared to the people who die, the population increases. So same analogy works for your hair. Hair falls out of your head every day, right? Anywhere from 50 to 100 strands of hair. As long as the new hair that is growing on your hair outweighs the hair that is falling out, the hair stays on your hair. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I'm sorry for my poor English. Now, I have been on the drug for exactly 5 weeks now. I wish I had been able to record my journey from an earlier point, but I've been busy with the move and moving to my new apartment, so that hasn't been a possibility for me. The medication that I take is it's oral minoxidil, it's minoxidil, and I sourced this from India because here in the Philippines I was not able to get my hands on Lonitin, which is the branded minoxidil. Now this is a 5 milligram tablet. I usually cut it in half and have once a day, usually around 12 noon. And again, I wasn't able to get my hands on Propecia or Avodart here in the Philippines, so I opted for an Indonesian substitute. This is a generic drug. This is generic Dutasteride from Indonesia. So I have a year's supply of both drugs, and my daily hair treatment slash regrowth routine works like this. So I take 0.5 milligrams of Dutasteride every day, as well as 2.5 milligrams of minoxidil, which I have already cut down in half. And I also take multivitamins just to be sure that I'm not deficient in terms of nutrition and whatnot. The multivitamin that I take, it also includes biotin, if I'm not mistaken, 45 micrograms of biotin, which is good enough. So I don't necessarily have to supplement biotin, separately. So let's talk about results and the observations. It is still hard to make a concrete observation about hair growth and hair regrowth or the thickness of my hair because one, I've only been on the drug for 5 weeks, and two, I see myself in the mirror every day, so it's hard to tell whether or not it has been working the way it should. But I've made a few observations in the past 5 weeks or so. One is that when I shave my face, my facial hair grows at, I would say, maybe a slightly faster rate. Now, again, this could be cognitive bias because I'm just more aware, or I'm just more, hyper aware of, the hair on my head, body, and face. But I will tell you this. I feel like, again, I don't think the camera is picking this up, but I feel like the peach fuzz, like the little fuzzy hairs on my arms and shoulders have gotten longer. I don't remember this hair being this long. It hasn't gotten thicker, or it hasn't gotten darker in color. It's almost hard to see, but the individual hairs have gotten long enough that I can, hold it, right? That I can pinch it with my fingers, and I don't remember these hairs being this long or this pronounced. The other thing is, again, I don't know if the camera is going to pick this up or not, but the length of my individual eyebrows, I never remember a time where the eyebrow would reach like the first, line on my forehead, you see. Well, let me get my hair out of the way. Yeah, some of these hairs are crazy long, and again, I don't know if this is something that I had not noticed earlier and I'm just hypersensitive about it, but yeah, it's just an observation that I'm making. Again, I could make the same argument for the eyelashes, not in terms of their density, but in terms of their length. But I mean, it could very easily be that now I'm just more aware of them. The eyelashes at the bottom have certainly got a bit longer. Now, I don't think the camera is picking up very well, because like the tips of it are almost blonde, whereas the roots of the hair are somewhat, or like the bases of the hair are somewhat darker. Let's talk about shedding. I would say the shedding for me started somewhere around the second or third week of use, and it has slowed down. It hasn't stopped, but it has slowed down tremendously. So I think, this week or next week, the shedding will come to a stop, because usually the shedding phase could last anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks, or maybe 4 weeks for some people. Now, I'm making these videos mostly for the sake of having a reference point, so that each month I can have a point of comparison, or a reference point for comparison. Now, in the near future, I'm not going to keep the videos very long. It's just going to be quick updates, maybe monthly, going forward. But if you guys do have any questions, if there's anything you want to share with me, or anything you want to know about my experience, then I'll be more than happy to share it with you. I am simply documenting this journey for the sake of documentation, and it's because I feel like not enough people are sharing their experiences. Now, you can clearly tell that the density of the hair on top is far less than it was in my early 20s, or it is far less dense than it is on the sides and on the back. But hope is the old hair will fall off and the new hair will replace the old hair, and it will grow thicker, stronger, and for a longer period of time. So right now, this is what my hairline looks like. My hairline has gotten a lot better since last year, because I have been on Dutasteride for, I would say, 6 months now. Actually, I was on finasteride for about a month, but once I learned about dutasteride, I just hopped on dutasteride. Okay, here, the hair just fell out. But I have been on dutasteride for about 6 months now, and I haven't experienced any side effects. I take 0.5 milligram daily, and it has been okay. But I can certainly tell that the shedding of my hair and the hair loss rate has decreased significantly, noticeably, and my hairline is looking better than it did. It's looking a bit more consistent in the front and on the sides of the temples. But I decided to add minoxidil, oral minoxidil, as a way of expediting the growth and improving the overall quality and longevity of the hair. So that has been my experience so far. I am going to post monthly updates. Usually, around this time of the month. I will try and keep it consistent. And if there's anything you guys want to know, comment down below, and let's have a conversation, okay? So I think I don't really have an awful lot else to say. I'm just going to wrap it up here, and we'll see what happens, all right? So I'll see you around. Bye for now.